So instead of wondering what happens if it doesn't work out, try to switch that up and ask, what happens if it does? Story time. So my wife got on the homesteading bandwagon 2017, 2018, and she started making bread and experimenting with different types of bread. She stopped doing it. Since then, she's been looking into sourdough. For those of you that have looked into sourdough, you know that it's a science project, basically. You got to mix a whole bunch of stuff together. You got to let science do its thing, make it bubble. It's a living organism, basically, that you got to babysit for a good 2 or 3 weeks just to get the starter going. If you're lucky enough that it survives, you can make sourdough. So we moved out here to the farm back in summer of 23, and she had made a bunch of comments that she wanted to do sourdough. I've been looking into it, reading into it, but she never could quite pull the trigger and work on her starter because it's pretty daunting, pretty intimidating. So last winter, I guess she had been looking into it quite a bit, because about February of 24, she made a comment that she wanted to start sourdough and get a starter going, but she was intimidated and scared to do it. I asked her, what do you need? Like, well, I need a jar. Do you have a jar? Yes. I said, get it out, put it on the counter, which she did. What else do you need? I need water. I said, well, we got water. How much do you need? She said, whatever the amount was. I'll get a measuring cup, pour that out. What else do you need? Flour. We have some? Yes. How much do you need? She said whatever amount she needed. Measure it out, get it out. She did all that. And I told her to mix it up. And begrudgingly she did, reluctantly she did. And that was when her starter was born. Because she started that starter, started her on a baking journey that has brought her so much joy, because she bakes for her family, she bakes for the community. She's able to sell baked goods out of the house and bring in a little income to the farm. I asked her the other night, does baking bring you joy? Because when she does it, it's a lot of work. It's chaos in the kitchen. She's on her feet all day. Do you enjoy baking? And she genuinely said, yes, I get so much joy out of it. So now you're probably wondering, well, why are you telling us a story like this? Sounds like you're a big bully and you just bullied your wife doing something she didn't want to do. Maybe I was a bully. I'll tell you this, she had analysis paralysis so bad that she wasn't willing to take a leap, take a chance on something that's actually proven to be fruitful financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. If I hadn't have made her, made her get that starter together and start that process, we wouldn't be where we're at today. She was scared, and rightly so. And I pushed her past that scared point, pushed her out of her comfort zone, and made her go into unfamiliar territory, which she has excelled at, she has thrived at. Sometimes we let things get in our way. We let fear enter our lives, uncertainty enter our lives. And whenever that happens, sometimes it keeps us from wonderful things. Don't be afraid to take that leap. Don't be afraid to have a little faith and take a little risk. Yes, it might not work out. That is a possibility. That's always a possibility. Instead of wondering what happens if it doesn't work out, try to switch that up and ask, what happens if it does? Take a leap. Thanks for watching. Stay rooted.